Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am in the parking lot next to the post office, and I don't know if I'm parked in a good spot because a lot of people walk on this street and I can hear them even if they're just talking in a low voice, so they can obviously hear me. But we're gonna give it a try. Also, it's hotter and more humid than I thought, so I might have to roll the windows up. You know what? I'm going to do that and just have the AC on low. How about we give that a try? I don't want to get overheated. Okay, we're good to go. I just dropped off Skyler's birthday card in the mail with her gift. All she wants is to shop for clothing, black clothing. I was like, would you be insulted if I give you a gift card? And she's like, oh, please, please, hot topic, hot topic. But what I did is I made up a gift card and I just said that she could spend a certain amount. And my son, Derrick, has a credit card in his name, but it's my account. So, you know, when I want to tell them, you know, things like go out to eat on me, he just puts it on my card and then I get to pay for it. So that has always worked out good. So he can just give her, well, he can pay. And I made a little like chart so she could, you know, and it can be any store, that she can put the date, what she bought, what store, and how much. And I'm sure she won't do that. But I just wanted to make it look, I don't know, silly, I guess. I am here to talk about two things. One, Derrick's new channel. I'm going to talk about that first. And then two, the nightmare shit show that I am still going through. I don't want to focus a lot on that because I'm sick to my stomach over it, but I do want to, you know, fill you in on the, you know, the stuff that I'm still going through. It's like the most impossible thing that I've ever done in my life is try to get from here to Mississippi, to the point where it makes me feel like I just, you know, it's like a sign, do not go. But I want to fucking go, and I'm gonna go, and that's all there is to it. So let's start with Derrick. He told me last night he had started a channel, just Derrick Michaud, and his name is spelled D-E-R-R-I-C-K. And he had told me about that a little while ago. So last night we talked on the phone, and he said that, he's like, Mom, I want you to do something for me. And I said, yes, I love to do anything for him. And he said, I am going to start recording on my Derrick Michaud channel. And he went with his name because I went with my name. I mean, he has some other channels. He has one for when he was doing like bass guitar lessons and things like that. But he likes the idea that my channel is in my name, and so I can change what I do and it still makes sense. So he thought he wanted a channel like that so he can talk about whatever he wants, and if he decides that's not working good, he can change to something else. And there is another Derrick Michaud with the same exact spelling, and I think that one has 2 subscribers. My Derrick has 1 subscriber, me. That's the reason for this video. That's the reason that I'm talking about this. But just a little bit about Derrick. He's quite the opposite of me in many ways. He can perform on stage, no problem. I'd be petrified to do that. He is good with talking to people in person. You guys know, absolutely suck at that, hate it. I want nothing to do with real life communication with any human. We both can swear, but I think he's going to be a little bit more conservative than I am. Although, I don't know, he might find out it's fun to swear on YouTube. I love it. He was very nervous in front of a camera, has always been. But now that he's been doing the YouTube videos about podcasting, he said he's all in. He's like, I can even watch my own videos now. He hasn't been the one editing those. His sidekick, Amando, has been doing that, or Mondo as he goes by. And And Derrick couldn't even watch at the beginning. Now he can watch. But you know what? I actually struggled at the beginning too. But I started out by just doing images of, I was doing the coupon blog back then. I would put images of the Shaw's, which is a grocery store, flyer, sales flyer, and I would just talk over that and, you know, point things out that were going to be good deals with coupons and stuff like that. Then I graduated to my craft channel, and I did crafts, but just with my hands. I had a laptop hanging on top of me. That's how I started recording. I didn't buy anything until I knew I was going to like to do that. So it was like 6 months before I was actually in front of a camera, and it was a hair video. No, it wasn't. I think it was from yarn for my mother. I can't remember. It might have been a hair video. But the very first time on camera, as soon as I was done that, I was like, that was easy. Because to me, I think it was just talking that was the hardest part. I didn't mind being on camera. So Derrick didn't like to see himself on camera. But now that he's been doing the podcasts, the podcast videos, he said he's quite comfortable. The fact that he watched himself twice, one video twice. So he says, I am ready now to actually start a channel like I would like to have. So he said, I would like to do a 1,000 subscriber challenge, and here's where I come in. We know on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers to be monetized. You also need 4,000 hours of watch time. I think it's for the previous, 12 months or whatever. They look back 12 months. So he has to get up at least to 4,000 hours of watch time before he's monetized. And it's not that he's all gung-ho about the monetization, but he just thought if I promote him and I can get 1,000 of my peeps over to subscribe to him, he would know that there's at least someone watching. And he said, and then I will put up my first video. But then last night I texted him and I said, it might be better if you do just a short intro video and put that up first, so there's something for people to go see. But then today I already changed my mind. I told him, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and promote your channel. And I said, because if I wait for you to do an intro video, it may never happen. And I know if people go subscribe, that's going to really encourage him. And he's going to be frigging forced to upload at least one video, because I'll be on his ass if he doesn't. I'll be like, I promoted you, you let me down. I would never do that. So I'm going to link down below, because it's hard if you just search for Derrick Michaud, because he has nothing on there, it does not come up. You'll see that other Derrick maybe. I'm going to link down below. Pretty please go subscribe to his channel. Let's see if we can get him, hell, even 100 subscribers. I'm sure he'd be thrilled about. But, I would love that if you go subscribe. It's not going to fill up your feed if he doesn't ever upload anything, but I think he will. I think he will, and I think he's going to like this. And, so pretty please just go do that. And here's the other thing. He wants to do lives. I will never do lives. See, we're different in, like I said, in so many ways. And he plans totally on having comments on. I am going to ask you, be kind. Don't go there and, be mean like people can be. People have been, which is, one reason that I would, even if I had comments on, I would always let them go through review, because people have said horrible things about Skyler. I don't want him seeing that. I don't want her seeing that. I don't want to see that. People will say horrible things about me to him, and even though he won't take it, as personally as some would, because he does understand how people are. I mean, it's just stupid to do those things. Ask him questions about himself. It's his channel. So if you want to go say something. Now, right now, there's no video to comment on, and he doesn't have the community board, because you got to be at a certain level to get that too. But I do see something about discussions, and it looks like you can comment there. Oh my God. If he has a hard time with it, I'm sure he'll put them into review, just so he doesn't have to worry about, bullshit being put out there that Skyler could possibly see, So this is exciting to me. Now, here are the things, here are the ways we're alike. Alcoholics, both of us. He's been sober, I think 6 years now, something like that. Very happy for him about that. We are both self-employed. He's a workaholic like me, and he's a homebody like I am. Well, that goes hand in hand with workaholic, especially if you work at home. And some other things that he would like to talk about are, well, I mean, he has a career, not so much right now, because the pandemic kind of really slowed that down. And now he is, fingers crossed, hopefully soon to be the custodial parent legally. He's been custodial temporarily, I don't know what I'm trying to say, for like a little over a year, but the pandemic, court dates, all that stuff. So, he's a single dad, soon to be currently custodial parent. So he's got that to talk about. Was I talking about something else there for a second? I don't remember. And he can talk about, so his music, all his travels. He's even played twice with a band in Austria. He's done 2 or 3 times Virgin Islands. So he's even left the mainland. And he, so he has a lot of things about that. He lived in Nashville for a while. And like I said, he's a businessman. He knows how to start businesses and make them thrive. So he has, stuff that he can talk about. Depression, he suffers from depression. And, he might like to talk about things like that. I think he suffers from anxiety too, but I don't think to my extent. I'm big time on the anxiety and no longer suffering from depression ever since I switched to eating just meat. But he's got stuff he can talk about. So if you want to go to that discussion thing, I don't know what it looks like on a phone, but on my computer, I can see that. There was a place to leave comments. Maybe you can just, say hello and encourage him to get started with this. You could even say, I'd love to hear you talk about this or that, or you could ask him questions because he wants to do Q&As. And it's just going to be that kind of a channel. It's not going to be about podcasting or anything like that. I think once he gets going with this, I think he will find it very helpful because it is another outlet to just be yourself. So go on, subscribe. I would love that. And I guess that's it for that. Now, as for my life struggles with this whole Maine to Mississippi thing that I'm going through, I am really getting hit big time by the life estate on my family home. So I'm going to explain a life estate. That is put in a deed when a parent or whoever, if you own a home. My parents owned their home. They wanted me to have the home. There's a couple of reasons why somebody wants to do that. The main one is if they can wait it out long enough, in our case it was 5 years, they are safe from losing their home if they go into long-term care. Because, so say when they put the name of the house, the deed in my name, if only 3 years passed and they had to go to a nursing home, the only option is private pay because they haven't waited it out long enough. So they're still considered like the whole equity of that house is on them. So they would have to sell the house to pay for the nursing home. If one is still in the home, it's different. But you know what I'm talking about. There's a waiting period, and then after that, you can go and get long-term care, and it doesn't affect the house. You don't have to sell your house to pay for that. So I thought we were doing that to protect the house. I did not realize they get equity with the life estate. But the reason they do the life estate is because, let's say for the hell of it, my parents deeded the house to me and I promised, you can live there till you die. I will always take care of you. That's why I'm getting the house. And as soon as the deed is, done, I could sell the house out from under them and say, you got 30 days to move out, folks. Bye-bye. And life estates protect them from that, and that's why those things exist. And I don't think any good lawyer would ever suggest that, you know, the people selling the home or deeding the home to someone else would ever go without a life estate. My parents could have totally trusted me, and had I known a life estate gave them equity, because I don't know these things, I probably would have tried to do it that way. But I don't know if the lawyer would have let me, or I would have had some clauses in there or something. But anyway, so with a life estate, so nobody can just sell the home out from under you, your name is actually on the deed still as a life estate. So my mother and father both were life estate owners of that house, even though the deed was in my name. Of course, my father is dead. My mother is not, so she still has equity in that house. Now, in Maine, they have decided that if I sell that house, since she's so old, it has something to do with when the deed changed hands and how many years it has been. They've decided that she gets about $40,000 if I sell the house while she's here in Maine. She's alive, we sell the house. So that means if I were to sell the house today, Medicaid instantly stops for her, and she has to use up that whole $40,000 paying for her nursing home. When that's depleted, then she can apply for Medicaid again. So, you know, I hated to even lose that, because, you know, I have taken care of her all by myself for 20 years. I even had an entire addition built that I paid for well in excess of over $100,000 because of, you know, with the interest and all that. So, you know, and it's not that I'm being greedy. I would love for my mother to have the $40,000. I just hate for the nursing home to have it, you know? You know, it would be okay if she just had to have it in her name. You know, I don't care about that. It's not the money. It's that, you know, I thought the whole purpose of doing this was to protect the house from any of the money of a sale of a house. I just didn't understand how it was working. Okay, so I thought 40 grand was bad enough. In Mississippi, I was told by one person, I think they keep half, she would get half. So that means we'd have to spend half of the sale price of the house on her care before any Medicaid would kick in. That's a lot of money to lose. I wouldn't even recoup what I paid for the addition, you know? So that is out of the question. But then I called Derrick's lawyer, who I don't think is a specialist in real estate, but I called her, and, you know, hopefully she can point me in the right direction. But she said it's possible that Mississippi can look at it and say that my mother is entitled to the full amount. It's completely different than in Maine. And I thought, then I won't be able to sell the house. I still can move, and I would have to move. I want to move. I need to move. But I would have to just somehow put that house sale on hold. And so now I have to think of a whole bunch of other things. Now, I did find something online about Medicaid for Mississippi, and I found something that looks like they're doing a formula to see what the value is for the life estate holder, but I don't know if it's the same thing like here, because I can't understand it. So I did send that link to the lawyer. I showed her the deed. I sent her the deed so she can read the wording to see if the, you know, just exactly how it is. I hope I hear from her today. And the nursing home here told me that it's possible that it can go into a trust, and that then it would not be counted as income. But I called the lawyer who wrote this up, you know, almost 20 years ago. He said, no, we don't do that here. So I don't know about Mississippi. If it went into a trust, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if my mother lived to 120. I don't need that money now, but I'm counting on it for my own retirement. And if I need care, or if I don't, I would like Derrick to have it. So that's what I'm going through right now. So now, and I still haven't been able to nail down an apartment. I should have done it when they had one, because I specifically need first floor. I'm to the point where I don't care if it's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or 3-bedroom. When one becomes available, I have to grab it. And I'm actually thinking a 1-bedroom in the way would be very cramped. I don't want to be so cramped that I can't let my business mind flourish because I have ideas for other things. A 2-bedroom, that would be great. I'm even considering that I would take the 3-bedroom, and I thought that would be really cool though in a way to have like one small bedroom devoted to all my shipping supplies there, and you know, a computer there just for shipping purposes. I want multiple computers so that each station I work at, I have a computer, and you know, and then the tables, so when people order, I can bring those orders over to the table and have them all sorted. See, something like that speeds up the process because I'm the only person who does all of this. I do this whole thing, all just me, everything. And so I need to streamline it and make it not as time consuming, because that will free me up to try other business things, because I am going to have to make money. And if I decide that it's better to just sell the house, because I really think it's better, if I have to do that and I have to use that money for my mother's care, then I'm really going to try hard to use it by her being taken care of in the home. I hate for the nursing home to get that money because that's still bothersome for me. At best, she's going to be about maybe 30 minutes away from wherever I am visiting, and the care that they get in nursing homes, and you know, I would rather just pay, which would end up being actually more than a nursing home, but you know, if I have to spend all that money on her, I would rather spend more and have some peace of mind, but I need somebody there because I'm not doing the work. I am not going back to being a caregiver. I just am not. I could not mentally take it. I don't even like the idea of like somebody not being able to come in and, oh, is it okay just, you know, instead of replacing her, we're shorthanded, you know, can you just do it this day? I don't want to do that. So it's all scary. I have so much to think about. So much to think about. And so that's where I stand. I stand nowhere. The house is still not listed because I'm in this predicament where I just don't know if I can even sell it. So I have to find all that out. And the realtor that I signed with, because I left my original realtor, I signed with somebody else, but I canceled that. I mean, I don't want to be involved in a contract when I'm not even sure that I can sell. I canceled it before they even listed it. And I still have somebody coming tomorrow, though, somebody else who's in town. And because I want to tell this story to as many people, because the more people I talk to, sometimes I get better ideas of like what they've gone through if they sold other houses with life estates or things like that. So I'm still going to let realtors come, because I want to be very fussy as to who I pick. And I have a headache from all of this. Okay, you guys, I guess I'm going to stop now. Don't forget to go get the link for Derrick's channel. And I'm just curious to see what he does. He does have a sense of humor, and, you know, so I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good at this. I think he will find his way. I'd say it takes probably a year of constantly uploading to really get a feel for it. Some say do 100 videos. Doesn't matter what they are. 100 videos. And then look at the analytics. What worked a little bit better than other things? Just what were you more comfortable with? So I'm just going to tell him, talk about whatever you want, do whatever you want, you know, ask people for questions if you don't have ideas, and then you can do a Q&A. I mean, you know, all new YouTubers start with those things because it gives you content. Like, it was really popular when I started that people were doing a lot of the things like never have I ever, and those things are still fun. I did all of them, and they're fun. It gives you content, gives you a chance to talk. Somebody right next to me. So I'm just going to throw out all the suggestions and let him do what he wants. And, you know, he can even talk about Skyler, maybe have her in a video with him once he's comfortable. You know, because I would love for her to keep her channel going, because now she has a lot of things that she can talk about, you know, and he can even talk about that, what it's like to, you know, have a red-headed daughter who all of a sudden has short black hair. Her hair is actually half black now and half red. She wanted to have one side bleached, and he took her to a place, a beautician, I guess it's called, and they bleached out half of her head, and then she went home and she put the red dye that she wanted, and so right now she's half black, half red. I love that she's, you know, willing to do things like that. To me, so many people are so against children doing anything to their hair. And, you know, she's going to be 13, you know, 2 weeks, less than. And to me, hair is a very simple way for kids to express themselves and to, you know, come into their own. It's just hair. But yet it makes a big statement with what they decide, because it's, you know, permanent until it grows out or whatever, you know. So, you know, it's like a way for them to have a big step in their life. I've decided to do this and I'm going to do it. And everything she does, she is happy about and proud of it. And I would have been so afraid to do, you know, such drastic things, because I had no self-esteem. She says she has no self-esteem, but she certainly has more than I had at her age. But at her age, I was also an alcoholic. So let's be happy that she's not that. And I think there's a good chance that she won't have that issue, at least for now. You know? So I was a hot mess at her age. So there's a lot of things I couldn't have done. And it's awesome to see her know who she is and express it the way she does. I'm so proud of her, and I love her so much. And I'm so sad because I was supposed to be there right now. I was going to be there for the court date and just to visit, but I scheduled this way back when my mother first went in a home in March. It's before any of this house selling stuff started. And now, they may not have to go before the judge. So I was like, okay, I don't need to be there as a witness or anything. So his lawyer said, no, your mom doesn't have to be here. And I told Derrick, let me stay here. It's more important that I spend 2 weeks. I was supposed to go there for 2 weeks. I need to spend that 2 weeks here decluttering that house. And, you know, hopefully I'll be there soon enough, and then I can spend all my time with them. Well, not all, because they're not going to like that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please go subscribe to Derrick's channel and to mine too, if you haven't yet. Bye.